All right. Are we live? Oh, hmm. Good evening. So, I hope we're live. Let me check. And there I am. I'm live. All right. So, there I am. Okay. I'm live. So, we have three on. So, I'm sure that we will have more coming on. Bobby Barlow, my good buddy, man, good to see you. I was thinking about you this week, and hope you are doing good. Roscoe, how do um, I gotta remember how to pronounce your last name. Um, there you be, there I be. Okay, so I got to tell you guys this. Bodie, thank you. You always correct me. You always correct me. So I have to tell you guys this, and Chef Memo is in the house. Good to see you. So I forgot that I had a live stream tonight. I did. I was in eating. Miss Highboy and I, we were eating, and I said, "Oh no, tonight's my live stream," and I have no comment, no content. I mean, I'm not ready, right? And so I'm sitting there, and I looked at my wife, and I said, I do have content. I'm just going to show them what I'm doing. So I'm going to show you guys what I'm working on. So let me tell you a little bit how my week has went, and I'll tell you why I forgot about my live stream tonight. So if you all look at my eye, um, I got pink eye. There you go. Really bad case of pink eye. Oh my gosh. It was so bad that Monday and Tuesday I was like this most of the day. I couldn't even, and it went from my right eye to my left eye. That's how bad it was. I went to the doc. They gave me this ointment, and after they gave me the ointment on Monday, on Tuesday it went into the other eye, and it would hurt. I mean, it just felt like someone just flat punched me right in the eye socket, right in the eyeball, and so it was killing me. So called the doc back and went, and they called in a stronger prescription, and I was thinking, well, this looked pretty bad when I went to the doc. Why didn't they just do that? Why just call in the strongest right away? So I wasn't at work on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and I'm off. My week is all off. And so I came home today thinking tomorrow is uh, garbage day, and garbage day was Tuesday. I'm 2 days off. So I was in there eating dinner, and then I realized, oh no, tonight's my live stream. You better get going. So at first I thought, well, I don't have any content, and then I thought, no, just show the guys what I'm working on. So I'm going to show you guys kind of what I'm working on. It's not perfected. It's something in the works. And just to be honest with you, I've been kind of messing with it for a while. And I didn't plan on showing anybody this until I really had it perfected. But I'll let you guys see. It's no biggie. So, so what it is I'm going to show you how I'm using my Dillon 650 just for sizing my cases, my 223 Remington. I was going to sell this, but in the back of my mind, I always thought there is a really nice ultimate use for this. And since I have it, I'm going to try it. So first, what do you say? I call everybody out. I want everyone to, what are we going to type? Hey, why don't we type, I know, hey, old pink eye. Let me have it. Hey, old pink eye. Go ahead. Hey, old pink eye, I'll call you out. Okay. You know, you got to have a little fun in life, right? We got some good people on here. 18 of you. So we have, oh, and I got to tell you this. I just got off the phone with Mike Shelton. So I got to tell you guys this. True. Me and Mike, we just talked on the phone for over a half hour. And while I was talking to Mike, I didn't even stop to think that tonight was my live stream. And so Mike's probably laughing because I hung up the phone and was dishing my dinner up, and I went, uh-oh, tonight's the night. So, okay, here we go. We have Lev W is in the house. Long Live 3 says if you drink blue Kool-Aid, you won't have pink eye. Is a man of wisdom right there. Mike Shelton, just got to speak with him on the phone. Awesome guy, super awesome guy. It's a pleasure meeting you, sir. Bobby Barlow is in the house. And then we have Roscoe Bodie is in the house. Michael Turner is in the house. Pink eye has made me blind. Uncle Caffeine. Milsurp Duo. Sean Simmons. You're too kind, sir. Crazy Gearhead. I love that name right there. Crazy Gearhead. MSB 9021. My good buddy PWR Hunter. R. Pink eye. Brendan Farley. Good to have you, partner. Okay. So before we get into like what I'm doing with my Dillon, then I'll kind of try and explain it in a little bit of detail for you. I don't know if it looks a little different to you guys, but last Friday night during the Georgia Boys, I had the Georgia Boys live stream on, and I wasn't doing a lot of commenting, and it was because I'm going to show you this. I've been, I totally rearranged these cabinets, old-fashioned style toolboxes. You get these at Harbor Freight. If you buy these at Harbor Freight, wait till they go on sale, right? So these used to be stacked here. I had 3 of them here, and I had 1 of them over here. But one thing just drives me crazy is when I'm working on something, if I need something, I have to go all the way over there, or I have to go all the way over there. It just drives me nuts, And so I just want things where I can grab them. It's more efficient that way. So if you guys remember, this was all lined with the bullets all the way down the back. Well, I pulled the bullets off, and so I put the drawers on the back, and then I stacked the bullets on these. I was thinking, see, a long time ago, what I wanted to do is I wanted to build a shelf, about halfway down the bench, and put these under the shelf. But wood's become so expensive, and everything I do off my channel budget. Okay. So I got to thinking about it. These are pretty sturdy. They'll hold bullets. And there's your bullets. And they're holding them just fine. And, drawers open just fine on them. So I've got my bullets stacked. Still got the room for my Dillon dies. So I was able to just put those cabinets down all the way to the 4th. And it still gives me, plenty of room. Got my coffee brewer. I'm back. Yeah, China freight. It is China freight. But you know, Harbor Freight serves its purpose, right? Anyway, that's my coffee brewer right there. I got to have my coffee brewer. Um, hey, I love my Trump sign. Okay, so anyway, that's what I did. Now, I'll show you this a little further over here. So, I love one of the things I love to do. I love to work on guns. I'm not a gunsmith. I'm always learning, but I'm always doing something with guns. So this gives me a place to put my rifles. So as I'm working on them, I got all my cleaning stuff, my oils, my jags, my brushes, everything over here. I got my rods. So now I was gonna clean my firearms over there, but to be able to cast my bullets, I needed that. So I had to move that over here. So one of the challenges with having my channel is being able to set myself up so I can do stuff, but yet I can still make videos on the side, and that way I can just keep rolling. So that's what I did last Friday, and so it's kind of cool, kind of cool. So that's what I'm doing. Um, so if you're wondering why it looks a little different, that's why. So now I'm going to bring you back. Oh wait, I'll just leave the camera right here. Wooden guns. Everyone, welcome Wooden Guns to the channel. Well, thank you there very much. I appreciate that, sir. All right. So this 650 used to be for my 223 Remington, but now I do my 223 Remington on my 550. Okay. So I thought, well, what do I want to do with this? Do I want to sell it? But in the back of my mind, for the longest time, there's something that I wanted to do with this, and that is use this for resizing cases at a higher volume. Now, I don't know if I'm going to get into 9s and 40s on this. I really don't have a huge need. The way I do my 9 and my 45, I can do those on the run on the machines real time. Okay. The way I do my 223 Remington, I have case prep that I address. First off, let's come here. Let's talk about this. I have, for clarity, because there's newer loaders, they're going to have questions. They're going to say, well, why would your 9mm and your 45 be, why could you actually run the case on those through to completion, but not your 650? Okay, you can, but now listen to me. On my pistol cases, I don't deal with trimming them. Okay, the most I'm going to deal with is taking the 45 ACP and separating small primer from large. Okay. Because of the primer shortage, I keep all the smalls, I keep all the larges, and I segregate those out. So one day, if all I have is small pistol primers and I want to shoot 45 auto, I have those cases. Now, if you wonder what's the difference between a small primer and a pistol primer and a large pistol primer for 45 auto, there's not enough of a difference to worry about it. Okay. So now, since I don't have the amount of case prep for my pistol, when I go to the range and I shoot my cases and I pick them up, I can come right back here. I can tumble them however I wish, whether I dry tumble, whether I wet tumble, I tumble them. From there, I can put my cases right into the case feeders, turn them on, and I'm ready to roll. On these Dillons, the only thing I have to do, load my primers and my powder and my brass. They are ready to go. This is my 45 ACP recipe right there. I would literally fill that with unique. I would cycle it several times, and it'll be popping out with 5.9 to 6.1 grains of unique. Okay. Likewise, with my 9, I have this all set for 9. I simply fill primers, fill powder, throw my cases. After several charges of powder, I'll be running 4.5 grains of unique. Okay. High volume. So these are ready to go. Once I clean the cases, throw the cases in there, I'm loading for broke. And every one of them will chamber no problem through my pistols. Okay. Now, I will say something. If once in a while one of these or a 45 ACP won't chamber through one of my 1911s, I simply eject that out and I'll run it right through, my Springfield or, the 1911s. They have the fully or more of a supported chamber. So sometimes I will get a hiccup where one won't feed. Pick it up, clean it off, run it through the Springfield, and I'm good. Okay. Now, understanding that every once in a while one of these might not feed into one of my 1911s. Now let's come to this. Now we're going to talk about the rifle. For the rifle cartridge case, what are we going to do? We're going to size, okay? We're going to trim if need be. Then I always remove any of the cases that have the military crimp primer pocket, and then I uniform my primer pockets, meaning if I have it handy, I don't, hang on. I'll give you a tour of all of these drawers. I'll show you when I'm all done. I'll give you a tour and show you how I put things away. It would really help you. So this is the primer pocket uniformer. I put that on the chuck it up on the drill, and so that cuts the primer pocket to the proper depth. So what that does is once I'm seating my primers, all of my primers are going to seat past flush properly. Remember, on your primers, you want to seat 3 to 7 thousandths past flush, okay? So now we understand that on our rifle cases, when I go to the range, I'm just not going to clean them, throw them up into there, and start cranking out here. Because we might size it with the size die, but what about your trim length? What about the primer pocket? What about the military crimp? So now what we need is a high volume way of sizing our cases so we can get that job done fast, and then we can take those cases and address trim length and primer pockets, okay? So what this is for, this is set up specifically for taking 223, 556 cases and only sizing them. The reason I've never done this is this. I have never got into annealing my cases, but I've been doing that recently. Well, there's one advantage to annealing your cases. Well, let's see. One would be accuracy. Two, you're going to get longer life. 3, when you size those cases, they're going to be more apt to stay where you size them, okay? So since I'm getting into the business of annealing my cartridge cases, if I were to go ahead and anneal my cases, now I could run them through here and they're going to size to where I want more consistently and closely. If you follow my channel, you know that when I am sizing my brass, I always use the Redding T7. I get it set up with the instant indicator and I size them and I verify each one. Well, I can still do that. But if I'm going to anneal, this is going to be my quarter-mile option. It's a very fast quarter-mile. So now let me show you, okay? What I'm about to show you, I haven't really worked my routine out all the way. And I apologize, but this is about as close as I can get you. And this really was what I was doing. This is before me and Mike talked on the phone. I was doing this, and actually this morning, really early, about 3 in the morning, I came out here messing with this. And so this is a pad by Redding Reloading. It's a lube pad, and I'm really not going to use this in the traditional way that you would use a lube pad. I want to grab something. I'm going to show you this. This is going to kind of teach you some things. So when you're talking about a spray-on lube, all right, there's going to be a problem if you do this. Now I want to move my scale. Move that little scale right there. If you have this tray full of cases, you come along here and you're spraying them. One, the spray isn't going to get all the way down around the web like you'd like. I'll guarantee you. If anyone says they will, they're welcome to come onto my channel and do this and jump on my machine and show me. As a matter of fact, I will show you how that will fail you. I will stick a case in my die before the night's over and you will see it. You'll see. You'll say, oh, I get what that dude's saying, okay? For this to work, we have to lube all our cases, okay? I've always used the Imperial Sizing Die Wax, which I have right here. You guys have seen this. This is the best you get your hands on. But it's a different application process, one at a time. It's very fine. It's more hand loading than reloading, okay? So, and then we have this Redding. This is their Imperial case lube. But I have another case lube here. This company is sold out on this. I'm telling you something. They charge $15 for this. I would buy a 5-gallon container of this if they had this. Without a doubt, no questions asked. This is by go to Accurate Outdoors. Get on. Go. You can if you go to Accurate Outdoors, pull this product up. It'll say out, and you can put your email so they can alert you when they have it in stock. Okay. So what we got to do is just a little bit. But the other thing is we want to get in the mouth of the case, in the neck. Okay, so we're not binding up on our our expander, okay? And what I'm going to do is, the reason I'm messing with this is I've stuck a few cases in my die, and I know exactly what it takes to stick it. So now what I'm doing is I'm experimenting with different ways that I can lube my cases fast, but efficiently, okay? The goal is ultimately no stuck cases. So there's some more. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to take this camera. Michael Dunn is in the house. Hey, Andy 79Z28 and Rex Chandler, it's good to see you. Okay. I'm grabbing these cartridge cases. Put it on high. Now, you got to go forward. Got to go all the way forward because that's what pushes the case into position 1 on your shell plate, okay? So it's going to go something like this. Okay. So, Star Liquid is in the house. Good to see you, buddy. So, you just saw this run. This will not always happen if you don't do a good job of lubing the cases. So now let's come back to this, okay? So we put those 5 cases there. And by the way, these cases are all clean. Before you go running these cases, you do have to do an initial clean. So I'm going to show you what really bites some reloaders, okay? Okay. Are you ready? Now you watch, okay? Yeah, it's a long way up. Okay. Hang on. Hang on. Okay, I'm going to see. We'll see if I stick a case. Okay. I don't want to knock this over. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Oh. I didn't think that one was going to make it. Oh, that was a tough one. Okay, so out of those 15, I had 2 that were rough. Okay. Yeah, it is too easy, huh? Okay, hey, and we got Alaska 1 Andy in the house. Okay, I'm going to grab some more. Hang on. Bear with me. No. Yeah, over here. I don't want to, like, unplug my cord, but if I do, I guess I'll just plug it back in. See, the problem with, here's your problem with lubing them this way, is you can't, without going excessive, you can't get every bit of the real estate of every case. And there's another thing that will bite you. What will bite you is once you spray this on, if you let it sit, it's going to dry. Okay. So you would want to hit it again before you threw it in the case. And once it's in the tumbler, or once it's in the case feeder, you want to run it. Okay. Here we go. Looks like we have William Burr. Hang on. I'm just going to throw the whole thing in there. Oh, William Roy is in the house. Okay. All right, hang on. All right. Last one, Andy, William Roy. All right, here we go. So right now, these primers, they don't have any primers, and I apologize. Hang on, let me see if I can turn a light on here. might help a little bit. So none of these cases have primers. They've been universally decapped. But what I do run is, this is my FW Arms self-centering decap. It is awesome. It runs really good for the cases that need decapping. So here we go. All right. Well, I didn't stick any. All right. Michael Dunn, I love my FW arms, and I got some here. I'll give you a sneak peek on some that I have. So, okay, what I tried to do was loop these in a way where we might get one to stick, and they didn't. So, in coming back to here, so what my goal is for me, so far in running this, I've stuck 2 cases, okay? The first way that I had actually lubed these was actually like this. The first time, that's a bad case. The first time I lubed them, actually went like this. And I stuck one. I was like, gotta be kidding me. Those were saturated easily, right? The second time I stuck one was with this full, because you don't hit all the real estate. So what I'm doing is now, tonight, when I before I was talking to Mike Shelton, I was using this lube pad. So on this lube pad, you have your lube. Okay. I was going to try different, like just spray only, or possibly this. Okay. There is an art to this, actually, but for what I'm wanting, this being a high volume, I'm just in the total experimental stage. But what you don't want, you want to get this worked in, okay? So now I would take my cases, and now that I rolled them, then all I got to do hit the mouths, just like that. So I roll them, come here, hit the mouths, okay? Come on, let's go see how these do. The problem I'm going to have with this is if you get too much of this on, you can dimple the cases, okay? I didn't worry about how much I put on because I want to see real time. Now what I got to do, these we've been running, they're fine. They're not going to have dimples. So on this one, let me grab another catch bin here. On this batch, I'm going to catch them in their own bin so we can look at them to see if we crush any shoulders. So here we go. So I will tell you, this is the smoothest. This is like butter. If these cases turn out without dimples, this is probably how I will roll. Because I'll get more out of my lube, it'll cost me less, and that was like silk. All right, let's go take a look at some shoulders here. Okay, we got a new guy, and his name is No Barb Lee. Thank you very much, sir. Hey, we have Space Hobos 527. It's good to have you, buddy. So let's take a look at these. That shoulder looks pretty doggone good. That looks pretty good. Man, this is awesome. So I'm kind of thinking that for me to pull this off right, of sizing a lot of high volume cases, lubing with that pad and just a little bit of spray is going to be the way to go. What I'm trying to do, this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to find the most effective way to lube my cases so I don't get one stuck in my die. And now that I've done this, this is what I have to ask myself. What I have to ask myself is, now that I've figured this out, how well is this resizing? Because the next step that I have to figure out is, okay, I have to anneal these. I want you guys to wrap your mind around this. Okay, annealing is going to give us increased accuracy, but now wait, let's talk about that. These are only for my steel targets. Bang, 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 right? I'm not looking for this amazing accuracy. If there's a little few thousandths difference from case to case, who cares? So annealing gives me accuracy, which I don't need. It's going to enable me to reload them more times, but I'm on the move in the desert, so I'm going to lose a lot. So most of these will never get shot more than 5 times. The other thing is it helps to where when I size them, they'll stay. In other words, brass has spring back. So when you size these and you crunch them down, they want to move back up. Some, because these are range brass, some will spring back more than others. And that would mean if we reload these, there's a good chance some of these aren't going to chamber. You know, wow, 3 out of 10 didn't chamber. That's 30 out of 100 that aren't going to fit in your rifle. That's no good. So now what we're going to do, make sure you wipe your lube off, okay? Or put it in your case gauge. That will fit. Now, what I could do, if you think about it, I don't have to anneal these now. All I have to do is keep the ones out that are sized, and the others, then I can anneal those, or if one of these is 5 thousandths too high, I could probably load that up and shoot through my AR-15 that has a +8 chamber. And in other words, I could segregate these and just run the bigger ones in my Blue Star AR-15, because that's going to improve my accuracy, right? So the other thing I can do is I can just resize them on my Redding. So I have options. But if you're looking at this, so far, 4 out of 5 of those fit. Now, let me show you how I set my die up. You need to know that. Because you just saw my Dillon size all these. And you didn't see me torquing on my machine. Okay, we had 5 out of 5 fit. Okay, let me show you how I set my die up. Okay. For me, the squirrels are going to be moving this year, and I want to do some shooting. I want to shoot some squirrels. I want to shoot some steel targets. And let me tell you what, I'm telling you guys, okay, I'm telling you that these cases are for my steel targets only, but these are going to hold accuracy out to 100 yards, no problem. I can hit a squirrel at 100 yards. Squirrel sits up, looks at me at 100 yards, he's mine, okay? So this is how I set my die. Super easy. And to prove my point to you, what do you say I do this? I'm going to prove it in numbers to you. I have my case gauge by Ellie Wilson. We're going to measure it. Okay. Whenever I'm torquing on my Dillon dies, I try to pull a pin. There. And put the pin back. Okay. There's our die. Our die. We need to set this die. The first thing we're going to do, we're going to run the platform all the way up. We're going to take this die, run that lock ring up. Okay. Hang on. Okay. I'm going to back the die back out. Okay. I got to give you a better visual. So I ran my lock ring all the way up, and now we're going to run this die down. Okay. Now I'm touching the shell plate. I want you to watch me. You watch me very carefully. Drop the platform. You see this die? About 1/8. And I'll come up against it. Okay. I'm going to go a little more. See how my die is just standing up? Okay. Now remove your pin, and you don't have to over tighten it, okay? And now put the pin in. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab one of these cases that I've got lubed over here. Okay, you guys remember I just sprayed some cases down with case lube, right? What you don't want to do is it's sat now for a few minutes. You don't want to go running that up into our machine, okay? You're going to put some more case lube. So I'm going to spray it. You'll hear me spraying. There's my spray. Make sure you get inside on the mouth, okay? If you ever run your case up like this, and then when you go to pull the handle, it doesn't want to come down, it's because you need the lube inside of that mouth. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to place the cartridge case into, all right, I got my cartridge case into position 2. I'm going to run it up, effortless, okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to wipe it off. Before you put it in the case gauge, wipe it off because that'll give you an erroneous reading, okay? I'm going to take this and place it into my case gauge. It's nice and flush. Look at that. But now watch. We don't want to be past flush, okay? Look at that. That case is sized 1/1000th under a Sammy. Perfect. Some new brass will come that way. New brass, like you go and you buy a new, you go buy factory ammo. Some factory ammo will be 1/1000th under, some could be 1/1000th over, right in that window. So we have that really close, and that is where you want it, okay? So what that says is if we're at a Sammy Min, that case, it'll fit through any AR-15. It'll shoot through, if you have 5 AR-15s, it'll shoot through all 5. Now, we just ran a whole bunch through here, right? So we can literally put every case and make sure it's not sticking up, so we have chamber fit, okay? Okay, so now, so I'm gonna, I see that MSB 9021 just said, anyone here who doesn't own a XL650 but now imagine having one? Well, I'll tell you something. I would take my 750 over the 650 any day. You know, they don't make the 650s anymore, and it's a great machine. There's nothing wrong with this machine. It's just that the 6 or the 750, you can change the priming system over faster. It's quicker, you know, and I really like that. So there you go. This is what I was working on after work. For me personally, I'm trying to define this to where I know exactly what I need to do so I don't stick cases, and it has to work. Okay? Whatever you're doing, you have to have repeatability so you don't go to the range. Look, 1 out of 100. Well, okay. Is that really acceptable? Well, you lost one, right? So my goal is really to do the best I can. Doesn't mean I might not have 1 out of 100 that won't work, but you know, there is one thing. I saw a comment on social media, and the comment was, I don't care. I want my ammunition to be no. I want my reloads to be exactly like new brass or new ammunition. I want my reloads to be exactly like new ammunition. Well, guess what? You can't, because why can't your used car run as good as a brand new car? It's because your car is used. Period. Yeah, it runs really good, but it's not new. It is a used car. Do all you want, it's still going to be used. Well, guess what? You have a fired case. I can guarantee every one of you viewers something. If I come over here and I set this up and I measure each one to 0 with my dial indicator, I can have 100 out of 100 function. I can have 1,000 out of 1,000 function. When I come over here, my goal is, as fast as I'm pulling this, I want 100 out of 100 to work. But if you get one that doesn't, you should be able to figure out why and hopefully not make that mistake. So the other thing that I stress this, call me crazy, call me bad names, whatever you want. Doesn't matter to me, because I'm not the one pulling your trigger. But every one of those that came off of that will go into that. And that, my friend, is why 100% of my loads will function at the range, because I ran them through this, okay? So now that does not, now you still have to do a good job of prepping your cases, because, you know, if you don't remove that ring, see that crimp ring? Guys, I know my lighting isn't the best. There, you see it. See that crimp ring? You want to move that. Okay. And this is where I will complete for my 223. I run from my 223 Remington 26 grains of tack. I was like at 25.8 and 25.9. The reason I went to like 25.9 is I think I used to be 25.7, but it seemed like every once in a while I wouldn't get one that would eject all the way. So I bumped it to like 25.9. I just rounded to 26. 26 grains of tack for my 223 Remington. And I mean, it runs beautiful. So here we have a cartridge case. I can come over here like this. I can seat. I can come up and charge my case. Um, I'm gonna show you something. There's my bullet. There's my cramp. Oh no. Oh. Oh. You want to know something? I didn't check the powder in that. I don't even know. Oh my gosh. Do I shoot it or don't I? The reason I don't go much above 26 grains, I can feel the charge. Think about it. I want you to think about this. Every single case that I sized, I checked. Okay? Now I'm going to come over here and load all these over the next couple days, probably tomorrow night with the Georgia boys. Okay? I'm going to load every single one of those. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to shake every single one of them because I can feel the powder, and then I'm going to do this. And while I'm there, I can check my primer. 100 out of 100 will fire out of my rifle. Just as good as combat ammunition coming your way. That's how I do it. And I refine it and I refine it until it's better. And no, so Michael Dunn, hi boy, do you tumble your brass after? No, I don't. Well, the new high volume stuff I will. This stuff, no. I just, I ran it. I apologize. Yes, I did. I had to think about that. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I don't retumble it once I'm done. It doesn't matter to me. But this I did. I had to think about that. I got too much going on. So there you go. So what do you guys say? I don't want to waste anyone's time. Would you like to see kind of how I organize parts in my drawer bins? I don't want to be boring, but I would do that. You know, it kind of gives you an idea of how to store your parts. And I'm going to tell you guys this. Sometimes when people come over to my shop, they're like, this is so organized. Well, when I'm in the middle of making a 24 video series and I do 2 live streams a week, I can't waste a minute looking for something. I got to know where every single thing is. So Star Squib, Star Liquid said yes, Lev W said yes, and William Roy. If I get 3 yeses, that's good enough for me. Okay. So let me put my brass aside. I want to keep my brass segregated properly. So one of the things that will help you is just to know where things are. You got to know where things are. If you got to look for things, that's going to frustrate you. Okay. So in this is my reading. Okay. In here I have this is my Geisley Automatics. This is a reaction rod for building AR-15s. I just keep it in this drawer. I just know where it's at. So past this, I have another lube pad. I have all my primer shields, my primer pickup tubes. I have another instant indicator for my reading, which on the way that actually I'm gonna, since I'm reorganizing, I'm gonna put this somewhere else. Because I'm doing my brass resizing for my 223 this way, doesn't mean I still won't utilize my reading. In this drawer, I have all of my case gauges. I have my all of my cases for my headspace gauges, anything to do with that, anything. They're just there. I know that's where they're at. Here's one for you. That's a new piece of brass. Okay, this is a lesson for everybody. And I hope that if you learn anything from my live stream, you would take this. This piece of brass doesn't have a hole. Every once in a while, you'll see on social media, someone will say, oh, looks like I got some bullets that were not made properly. And they drag the company through the social media, right? I got some brass that was messed up, and they go to every forum. You see that? I taped it up so you can't see the company, and I called the company and I gave them the lot number off the bag so they could simply retrace all that and call it back, and they sent me 2 free bags of brass. Out of my 200 cases that I bought, 2 of them didn't have primer holes, and they sent me 2 more bags free and thanked me. So whenever you buy components that aren't right, help the company out. You don't have to go onto a group. I have 6 Facebook groups, and whenever someone posts something about look what this company did, I have in my rules, do not bring it here. If you don't have something good to say about a company, call the company and let them make it right. So yes, things do get past companies. If I put a primer in this and fired it, here's the trivia. Yes, it does, Michael Dunn. It does pay nice. It pays nice to be that person that everyone needs in the world. And you thought my channel was here to help you learn to reload. It's not. But I'm going to ask you all a question. What would happen if I put a primer in this and I chambered it and I pulled the trigger? I'll be watching for your answers as we go through these drawers. So, and then these are my annealing mandrels by Little Crow Gunworks. They're still going to go in a different drawer. These are all my hard parts for my redding equipment. Okay, hang on. Don't move. Don't move. Oh man. There we go. A little light. So this is all the stuff. I know what every bit of that does. But I have extra springs, right? Everything has a home. Where you store it is where you're going to keep it all the time. All my shell holders, and I have multiple shell holders from multiple companies. Inline fabrication. Hey, can one of you tell me what that drill bit's for? Someone tell me what that drill bit's for. And now I'll tell you what would happen with this case if you put a primer in it and pull the trigger. Well, what would happen is on a live round, when you do that, on a live round, when you shoot it, the primer actually pops out the back. Did you know that? Yeah. When you shoot your 9mm, bang, at the range, the primer backs out of the pocket. But when the case comes back, it seals it. If you put a primer in this and pull the trigger, it'll just go bang and the primer kind of pop out, and that's all. All right, let's go to the next box. Roscoe got it. Okay, next one. What's in here? Okay. all my, okay, this is a cool box, but you got to know this. Okay, these are all my primer pickup tubes and what have you. I got this working with a load I'm developing for my, oh, I can't tell you what that is. Oh, that's a future video. All my Dillon parts. These are new indexing. These are what index your shell plate. Okay, these are all the Dillon parts. And now watch this. These are extra powder bars, Super Suede 600. But now we start getting into this. All the springs, all the locator pins. The reason I have extra is like I have extra locator pins because when I do my live streams or if I'm making a video in a video series and I lose one, I can't call Dillon and say, can you send me one? So what I did is I bought several of their backup kits. Why am I telling you this? Is if you own a Dillon, you need to do this. And consequently, I've got a lot of friends that know I've got this. And so they'll call me and I'll say, yeah, I got it, And I don't charge them nothing for it, but they'll leave me cash, So you want to have backups of everything on your Dillon. That's so important, Get you some, okay? And everyone says, well, Dillon will replace it for free. Well, yeah, go buy their rescue kits, It's well worth it. So I love organization. I really do. Okay, these are by Plastics Revolution. They're just gunsmithing tools for building AR-15s, and we're not going to get into that because of the new YouTube policies. Then I got my Lee hand priming. Oh my gosh, I love their bench prime system. I love that thing. I really do. And that's empty. Look at those. How old are those primers? And those will go bang. Absolutely. You see old primers somewhere in a garage sale or an estate sale, buy them, but don't pay no $10 $100. That's crazy. Okay. All right. What's in this one? Oh man, I wonder what's in this. Man. Dang. Better move this. What's in this one? Oh man. That's the chill pill drawer. Oh man. Oh yeah. So my mags, these are most of my mags. I don't keep them 100% all the time. That one there is only partially full. On my mags, these three I have full. These two I have full. But when I have all these charged, if you're going to fill a bunch of mags and not shoot them, like if it takes 8, only put 7. Okay, why? What wears the spring out? Two things wear spring out: repetition of compressing and releasing, and being held under a continuous load. But the one common denominator both those have is for a brief moment of time or a long moment of time, they're being held under a load. The argument that you see all over social media is how long will a magazine last? Oh, well, I found the magazine and it had been loaded for 70 years and it was fine. Okay. So you take all these magazines and now you go out and you start shooting all of those, and all of a sudden you see this one failed or this one failed at a certain rate. Okay, some guys are going to hate this, but at a certain rate, sooner or later, they all have to fail. There's no spring in the world that can hold for eternity. But what a spring will do is it will last longer if it's not under 100% of its intended workload. And the key word there is intended. So these magazines have springs. This one, being a 7-round, its max load is a 7-round. So if I max it out, it's intended to be maxed out at that. But if I would just decrease it by one, I will increase the life of that substantially. Okay. Think of a weightlifter who maxes out. I was a weightlifter for years. I've never hurt myself lifting weights because I never maxed out. I would always go, my max. If I knew I couldn't pull it off 3 times, I wouldn't do it. I would work and work and work and work. I used to bench press 4 or 5, 6 times, without a spotter. How do you do that? Well, you make sure that your max you can do 3 times. But when you max out all the time, that's what kills you. Well, that's what will kill a spring, is keeping it maxed out. Now, how long will a spring go? You can't answer that. You have to ask yourself, well, is it a stock spring? Is it a quality aftermarket spring, right? But I do know this. If you reduce it by 1, it'll last a lot longer, okay? So, these aren't all my mags. I have other mags that are all loaded up, ready to rock and roll. And these are mostly mags that I run out to the desert, okay? And then these were given to me. These are snake loads. I don't shoot snake loads. So if one of you were here, I would give them to you. Let's talk about this. So here's some factory ammo. And you'd say, well, okay, hi boy. So what's up with the factory ammo? I would tell you this. I don't have a problem if I had to use my reloads in a self-defense situation. One of the things that I do is, let's see what else is in here. Okay. I just got dies, different dies. Okay. Different mags, all these mags. Okay. I'm going to talk about factory ammo. I'm going to come over because I can see some comments popping up. And I don't know if I'm boring you guys. Oh my gosh. Bama Dad. That is so true. That's true. Most people don't train often enough to know if they have a bad mag or not. I always swap out 5 at a time on a month interval. I don't do it that much, but I do mine enough that I would know if I have a bad mag, because that would drive me nuts not knowing, right? So here's the deal with factory ammo. I don't have a problem with my reloads for self-defense, except one thing. They're used cases. They're used. Okay. Um. So that's why factory ammo trumps reloads. Okay. Doesn't mean that my ammo's not good enough. But factory ammo will always trump. And so I actually have a lot of factory ammo. I have so much factory ammo. It's crazy because think about it. If a gun shop's going out of business, a gun store, like you guys remember when there was a chain that went out of business, they were anti-gun, and so they decided they weren't going to sell. Well, I bought ammo cheaper than I could reload it for, right? But I don't shoot it. I just put it back, right? What an excellent resource for, shit hits the fan. That's not a bad way to go, right? Um, I bought I bought 1,000 rounds of um, the new Spear Gold Dot Gen 2 for my 9mm. I bought 1,000 rounds of that. I got it at a screaming price. That was right after COVID hit too. A friend of mine got it in and went down there. Couldn't believe his price. And I walked out of there with 2 cases of that. I couldn't reload it for that. And but I haven't shot it. I've tried a little bit of it, and some of it's in that drawer. So in some of my mags I keep factory, but I shoot my reloads. And I figure someday when I'm really old, then I'll go shoot all my factory. So my dad says I was at a training class and saw a guy blow up his M&P with Fiocchi factory ammo, so even factory. And I was going to say, even factory does have issues. Absolutely, it sure does. But one guy said, well, they don't have as much problems as reloaders because they're better at what they do. Oh, well, no, that's only partially true. It's just they have insurance to back up their confidence. Okay, so factory does have their issues. Trust me, they really do. So Pez for yeah, I like that, Michael Dunn. Pez for adults. So anyway, guys, I wasn't prepared for a live stream tonight, but in my mind, I just thought, show them what I'm working on. So I never have nothing to hide. So anyway, I hope this was a good live stream. I hope I didn't waste anyone's time. And as I develop this more, I might share more with it. Pretty basic, but it's a really good way to go for high volume brass. So one of the guys, I think it was who asked about hey, John Williams 40's in the house. Someone asked if I had cleaned this brass after I had resized it. Whenever you're doing it this way, whenever I do it this way, I will be tumbling it because it's too much brass to wipe every one of them off with. So you're awesome, Bama Dad. I appreciate you. And Michael Dunn, thank you very much. You are too kind. So I want to share something with you guys. Okay, you see this knife? See that knife? So when I ordered this, I had seen it advertised, and I forget the name of it. It's by Ned Foss. Am I saying it right? You'd think they would put their name on it. Ned, Ned Foss. I believe that's the knife. If you go to Amazon, you can pull this up. When I saw this, I was like, you know, the company hasn't been in business long, obviously from China, but knives anymore, you can drop $400. I don't want to do that because this knife, I just want it when I go to work and I'm cutting cardboard, stripping wire, hard detailed things, cutting stuff out of stuff. Guys, this knife with the sheath, $85. And it's one of the best blades. And it's a Damascus design, and it's super easy to sharpen. As a matter of fact, watch this. Okay. It's shaving my arm. I've only sharpened it one time. The rest of the time, I've only stropped it. I've cut like 20 cardboard boxes with this. So if you're looking for a knife like in the $20, $85 range with a sheath, this is a really nice knife. And if you don't want the sheath, you can take this knife and throw this in the glove compartment of your rig. It's a really good knife. So when I got it, I told everyone I bought it, and I thought, well, I shouldn't have told everyone because I don't know if it's a really good knife. It's a good knife. It's a very good knife. So, all right, that's all I've got. So, all right, I want everyone to type whatever you want, and I will call you out. And tomorrow's Friday, and so tomorrow is the Georgia boys. I will be out here loading up some 223 Remington. So if you're over there on the Georgia boys, I hope to see you. Hey, God bless you, Power Hunter. Hey, for a brief moment, I want y'all to do me a favor. If you have me in your phone, text me right now. I'll call you off. I'll call you off through the phone. If you don't have my number, send a text to, hang on. I'll type this. No. Okay. I got a cord in the way. I can't get over it. Text to ground zero reloading at gmail.com. Zero is spelled out. Ground zero reloading at gmail.com. Text me your YouTube name and your number. I'll put you in and I'll shoot you back. Okay. So if you got my number, hit me now. I'll call you off. Here we go. Okay. Mike Shelton. That is a beautiful rifle, Mike. Sorry, your rifle took my breath there, buddy. Oh, she's looking good. Okay, who else do we got? We got Power Hunter, Paul, Sean Simmons, Bob Barlow, Bamadad, Mr. Mark. Here we are. Okay. Lev W, Mama Dad, Michael Dunn, Power Hunter, Mike Shelton, Bobby Barlow, Michael Dunn, Reloader Dan, Star Liquid, Sean Simmons, John Williams 40. John Williams, I got you on my phone, brother. I got you on my phone. And awesome Lev W. Okay, I want to thank you all. You're really awesome. Okay, now next week's Bible study, I will have a Bible study next Wednesday, but next Thursday, that live stream is going to be talking about things that I do in my house, when I'm out and about, that keep me not just one step ahead, but 2 and 3 steps ahead of the bad guy. How to expand our awareness, things that we do so the bad guy doesn't get us. That, my friends, will be next week. Okay? Okay, here we are. And who else is okay, we got pictures coming through. All right, guys, you're all really good. We're out in 3, 2, 1. MSB 9021. God bless you. God bless you, Lev W. And I'm out. Michael Turner. If you're the bad guy, well, you better duck, buddy. Hey, if you're the bad guy, hey, Del Pogue's in the house. I got your number, Del. If you're the bad guy, we just ask that you split it with us. That's all we ask, okay? And we're out.